If you have ever felt very angry and suddenly this guy's face shows up everywhere you look, go ahead and hit that like button and then go report to the chaplain immediately. Gentlemen, welcome to Conversion Beam. Now I understand I might be a little bit late to the party for this conversion. I'm sure most of you already have your Astorath built and painted, rendering this video not particularly useful, but there still might be some enjoyment to be had by making this video. So here we are. A lot of people were quite displeased when a new Astorath model released. The main criticism seemed to be in the positioning of the arms. Now it's not as if arms can't move like that, they can, but I think the upside down shoulder pad was really throwing people off. So the objective of today's conversion is to repose his arms. So I get to work cutting all the pieces away from the sprue and cleaning them in preparation of assembly. But before I put the body together, I cut away the arm that is already attached to the torso. With that complete, I assemble the body exactly as you would on the instructions. And I also decide to base the model at this point to give myself a better perspective when I start reposing the arms. Now putting the body off to the side, I grab the arm that's wielding Astorath's axe. And my intention is to separate the hand from the arm in preparation for the repose. But unfortunately, I have very few brain cells, and I sliced straight through the axe hilt while trying to cut off the hand. Thankfully though, it was a pretty clean cut, so I was able to bond the two pieces back together using glue. Now with everything prepared, I roll out a bowl of green stuff and I stick little portions on his hand and torso connection points. With his hands and arms loosely stuck together, I try orientating it into a pose I like. I then realized to get a pose that makes sense, I would need to see what exact direction Astorath is looking. So with the head now attached, I found a pose that I think suited him quite well. The axe isn't held quite as high as it was before, but it's still high enough that it looks like he's going for the executioner's attack. So now I need to reshape that messy green stuff into something worth looking at. The torso connection won't really be seen once the shoulder pads are placed on top, so I don't put a great deal of effort into cleaning it, kind of just flatten it down. It's more so the hand connection points that I'm concerned about. Mixing my leftover green stuff with an equal amount of milliput, I create grilliput. I force a little bit of this putty into the connection point and start cutting into it with a wet knife. My camera doesn't pick it up very well, but I'm trying to mimic that kind of soft seal pattern you find between the Astartes armor plate. And I think this is one of those few cases where I was kind of successful. Now, there is one more adjustment I wanted to make to the new Astorath. You see, the old model for this character had a ton of scripture hanging from his armor. While not very practical, it really denotes him as a chaplain, whereas the new model just has one measly purity seal. I wish I had the skills to recreate that on the new model, but I'm not quite there yet. However, I will make a custom purity seal using that grilliput. So after rolling out a log of the putty and flattening it, I left it to cure for about 1 hour. The edges of the parchment were nicked with a knife in an attempt to give it a more aged appearance. And then the ends were cut away to square things off. Now before attaching it, I folded a bit of the parchment. I don't know if this is a very good technique, but it made sense in my head. I wanted 2 trailing bits of parchment, and I wanted both of them to stem from the same side of the leg. So I tacked the strip onto the leg using superglue, and I wrapped a long bit all the way around the thigh, overlapping the fold I made. And this gives me the wraparound double tail purity seal that I'm looking for. So once I was happy with that, I decided to seal down the parchment using the skull trinket from the Reaver's kit. With the attachment point cut away and superglue applied, the skull icon was then pressed into the uncured parchment right at the fold. And once everything was cured, I was happy to call this conversion done. I hope you enjoyed this short video, and I'd love to know what you think of the conversion. I'm honestly a little disappointed in myself for not trying to recreate the original scripture. I think that would have been a good way to bring back a lot of the character the original Astorath had. But I am still happy with that little bit of parchment that I made. And I do think I made his arms look a lot more natural. Again, I would love to know what you guys think, and I'd love to see you in the next video. Also, comment down below what the Emperor gifted you for Sanguinale.